And Angie Green has written a book. Thank you, Angie. Tell us who Angie Green is.
Well, Angie Green is just an ordinary person, if I may say so. But I'm an event planner, now turned author slash speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my new title, author slash speaker. A mother, a wife, and an ordinary church girl.
Wow. So you authored the book entitled "On the Other Side of Through: Life After Loss."
Yes.
Tell us what prompted you to write this book, Life After Loss.
What prompted me to write this book was me experiencing personal losses in my life from losing 4 children.
Wow.
God gave me the word and gave me the knowledge to put my story into a book where I can help others.
Right. Because it's so important. Because a lot of times people go through different stages of grief, but they don't know after they get through those different stages. You know, it's like 5 stages. It says 5 stages. It says that it's denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But then they also said there's 7 stages. And those 7 stages, I think, really helps you to process it. You go through the shock, denial, the pain, the guilt, the anger, the bargaining, depression, reflection, and loneliness. And then you get to the point where you can reconstruct and work through it, and then you have acceptance and hope again. Can you share with us how you transitioned through those different phases?
Oh yeah, I experienced every last one of those phases, from the anger, bargaining, even angry at God.
Right.
And sometimes I hate saying that because it's like,
I think people need to know that.
It actually happened. Me being born, raised in church, knowing God,
Right.
and being saved, but I still went through being angry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You walk on feet of clay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But it's the thing of the matter is you have to know how to get past.
Okay.
Not saying you're gonna ever get over the loss.
Okay.
You never get over the loss.
Right.
I don't want to think that you ever get over the loss, because that's not gonna happen.
Right.
But you accept the
You
fact
learn
that
to
it
live
happened.
through it.
Absolutely. You learn to live through it. You accept the fact that it happened, and know that God has something.
Yeah.
That's the main thing you have to know.
God has
God has something.
Would you have ever thought, when you initially began this journey of loss, that you would be where you are now, that you would write a book, be able to speak to women, and to share your story to encourage other women?
Absolutely not. To know me, you would know, oh, this is not what he would do. I was a quiet little scary girl in church Easter Sunday. That's the story every time. Easter Sunday, I would get up there and say at the beach, I'm crying. I'm not ever speaking in front of people.
Wow.
Or my sister will have to say my speech for me.
Wow.
So me being talking in front of people, this is all new to me. And this is God. I tell people every day, this is God.
So you tell us what happened to your daughter, and then why, after what happened, did you begin to pray?
My last daughter that passed away, she passed away due to drowning. And this baby, this death was just totally different from me having miscarriage of twin daughters, and the loss of my stepson. My stepson I didn't birth, but I loved him as a child, but it was different someone who actually birthed.
Yeah.
And had the pleasure of raising for 8 years. And with this death, we grieved all death, but something about this death, it took me over the top. To where I dealt with depression, I dealt with anger, I dealt with so much. It would be days I couldn't even get out of bed to take care of my 13-year-old. So it's like, it just took me to a point where I had never been. I didn't care about anything. I didn't want to bother anyone. I even stopped going to church for a while. I was like, hey, doing? Okay, on that brave face. But on the inside, I was just crumbling.
So you went through that isolation. Yeah. That's a part of that phase. So after you went through the isolation, what helped you come out of the isolation?
Just one day, I'm in my bed, and one day God spoke to me. And He either gonna pick yourself up and get things done, you gonna lean on me, or you gonna run. So I chose to lean on God. I had to get to a point where I had once God fitted me to my other side. I thought I could do it on my own. I thought I could handle it, grief, and the loss of my dad on my own. And I had to learn that I couldn't. I had to go back. I'm like crying. But I had to go back to allow God to work on me and to work on my behalf. Because, I had to learn I need to come to the knees. And He told me, I don't need you. You can let me handle it. So I had to get to that point where I had to let Him handle it. And He got me right.
While she gets herself together, you're tuned in to Right Where You Are. And today we have with us Angie Green. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's a mother. She had an 8-year-old daughter who transitioned from this life as a result of a drowning. But what has happened, God has restored her, took her through the processes of grief, and now what she is doing, she's trying to bring hope and encouragement and vitality to the lives of those that she can touch. If you know somebody who's experienced loss, take a moment and just tag. Go down to the bottom of your screen, hit that button, add somebody on, tag somebody. Please take a moment and share this. We're going into Memorial Day season. A lot of people during this time have lost people who were in the military, soldiers, but also this is the time of year everybody goes out to the cemetery. Take the time, share this so they can understand that they're not alone. Someone else has went through it. And if there's help needed, there's help available. Angie Green, The Other Side of Through, Life After Loss. Tell us about the book.
Well, this book, it talks about, it's more of a transparency for me. I was very transparent with the book and very open. And in the book, it talks about the different stages of grief that I experienced and what I went through and dealt with. And also, I made the book to be interactive. It has questions to ask yourself.
Okay, so you know where you are
Absolutely.
in the journey.
Where you are in the journey. And then there's journaling in the book, and you always reference back to what you wrote, where you were at, and okay, down the line, that's where I was at here.
So you can see your
You
progress.
see your progress, absolutely.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, and that's with the stages of grief and
Wow.
in there. And then we have where I offer encouragement, different quotes about fear in your faith.
Wow.
Yeah, and talk about different things that I experienced throughout. I even spoke about my marriage.
Okay. Now, does loss affect one's marriage?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It can cause a marriage but you have to be rooted in God and know that the enemy is there waiting just to destroy your life, from marriage on down. And one thing my husband and I thought never, ever blame each other for anything. We always prayed and stuff together. He allowed me to grieve, and I allowed him to grieve. But sometimes when we're in our grief, we tend to neglect the other person, so to speak. So
you feel like you're in it all alone.
Yeah. And sometimes we got to that point, but we had to hey, it's both of us going through this together. We have each other.
Yeah.
The more we have each other's back, we can breathe together.
Wow. So I hear you saying that prayer is very important to help you transition through this journey to get to the other side through it.
In order to get to the other side, much prayer, much prayer.
Wow. In relation. This book is by Angie Green, On the Other Side Through Life After Loss. It has practical application in here that you can use. This book can be purchased. You can get it on Amazon.com. If you know somebody, you might know somebody that needs this book, that needs to be encouraged, who have experienced loss. You can get this book on Amazon.com. Also, if you're in the school systems or if you have a women's group, and you would like Angie to come and speak for your school group or for your local women's group or a youth group, she will come. She can also speak to women who have lost infants. She also experienced the loss of twins. So if you would like for her to come, you can reach Angie. Let me see, I have your information here. Angie can be reached on social media. Her page on social media is On the Other Side of Through, Life After Loss. That's the name of that page. If I can get some wonderful person, I'm not up by my screen today, don't have my laptop. On the Other Side of Through, Life After Loss. That's the name of that page. And her email is Angie Speaks. Yep. .net at gmail.com.
Yes. I also have a website, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And it's angiespeaks.net.
Okay.
Yep, I also have a webpage. You can go on there and you can contact me on there. And you also can go on there to purchase the book as well as on Amazon and on Amazon and my webpage that you can get the book from.
And this one here, is this still active? www.
Yep, it's actually angiespeaks.net is
Okay.
the webpage, and angiespeaks.net at gmail is the email.
Okay, very good. So you can take those and you will be able to get her. Also now, we're going to come back and talk about that a little bit more.
Okay.
But you're an event planner.
I am an event planner. By that's my 9 to 5.
Now, all of these things that you do are part of the components that help you to get through to the other side of life.
Absolutely.
So tell us about that business.
Okay, my business, I originally started, over 20 years ago I started doing. My husband and I did a huge, big old wedding together 20 years ago. And then me and my husband, we started having kids and I put it away. So I became a full-time mom.
Okay.
And I just recently picked it back up 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so I now have a full-fledged showroom here in Detroit. And we do anything from planning your wedding. We do big birthday parties. We do reunions.
Wow.
We even do a bar mitzvah. And we're not Jewish, but we will do it. And we do it all. We rent. If I don't do your event, you can always come rent from me.
Wow. Oh, so you rent equipment for events?
Absolutely.
So if they were having a graduation and say they needed the things for the punch,
I have
tables.
I don't do tables, but I have a partner that I work with that has tables and chairs. But me at Elegant Events, we offer the table linen, chair covering.
Oh, you do the...
Yes, we do all the good stuff. We offer centerpieces. We offer the backdroppings, the pipe and draping.
Okay.
And we even do throne chairs now. We just started doing throne chairs. We have a variety of throne chairs that we now offer.
So tell them again the name of your business.
The name of my business is Elegant Events and Decor by Angie. I'm located on Schoolcraft, 18726 Schoolcraft, and I'm between Southfield and Evergreen in Detroit. And we've been there 3 years. Awesome. We're praying that God blesses us with a new building. We're looking to expand. So business is doing well. So we are looking to really expand and offer even more services is what we're doing.
So if you have an event, you're right in this season of birthday party. So maybe you didn't plan your party yet and you might want to plan your party. What you can do is get a hold of Angie's Elegant Events. Yes. Okay. What we'll do, we'll go back and we'll type that on and we'll put it there. But if I had my person on the other side, we could pin it to the top.
Yes.
Say the name of that one more time.
It's Elegant Events.
Elegant Events and
Decor.
Yes. Okay. Elegant Events and Decor.
That's actually a page that's on Facebook as well. You can reach me on Facebook it's called Elegant Events and Decor, and the number is 313-397-7029. It's the same number that you contact me with for the book. It's the same number it's my business number. Yes.
So you're an event planner. You get through planning events. You say, events. Okay, that season has dropped down. Okay, let me get into my speaking gig. What do you tell people when you go to speak? What is it that you can tell them that helps them to transition from one station to the other station, to get to the other side?
I'm just every time I speak, I'm just transparent.
Okay.
I try to be transparent as I possibly can. I try to be real as I possibly can, because I don't ever want to have a person misconstrue that, okay, well, what did she do to get over it? And I tell them upfront, I'm not telling you that you're going to ever get over it. You learn to accept the things that happen in your life, and you learn to move on without the guilt.
Okay.
That's my goal, and my mission is to help a person to move on with life without the guilt. Okay. Because as I was moving on through life, I would do things and I would feel guilty because I'm out here enjoying myself. And here it is, my baby is buried and deceased and gone, and we're having fun. So I had to learn how to do things without the guilt. Okay. So my mission is to help others, because there's a lot of people don't know how to move on because they have that guilt there. Okay. And don't know what to do with the guilt. So they don't have fun, they isolate, they stay isolated, they don't have fun, they don't go out. And that's my mission, is to help them with that, and to help them process things in a better way, especially to reach those that don't have the relationship with Christ. Okay. And to help them, if not fully get it, but understand.
Okay. How important is a support group in getting through that process?
Support group is the most important thing, because it helps build your way of thinking of how to process the grief and everything, the support. And sometimes you may not be able to talk to your family. You may not have family around. Right. And that's where the support group comes in. And you may be able to share things with them that you can't share with others, because they know what you're feeling, because they dealt with similar situations. Right. You know. And then sometimes your family get the worst judgmental people. Because I've had people, girl, it's been 6 years, you ain't over that yet.
And everybody's length of grief. And some people say that, I know sometimes people even try to say scripturally, the Bible says you should only grieve. Yeah. But it's been proven psychologically that everybody's time of grief is different.
It's so different.
Based on how the death, whether it was terminal illness, tragic incident, car accident, ran over by a car, all of those things play a different role. And you have to process and go through each one of those phases. So when you encounter people who are perhaps stuck in one of those phases, how do you help them get unstuck?
You know, I basically just hold a conversation and to see where they are and why are they there, and to get them to understand. You know, I may go to the Bible with them and give them words of encouragement. And I found that if you just give them words of encouragement and let them know that it'll all be okay, they learn to press past it all. But then a lot of times they say, well, you know, I didn't have people to explain it to me that way.
Right.
You know, people always say, well, you know, you should be past this stage. And I always let them know, no, there's never a set time per stage. That's written nowhere. You would never find that anywhere. Right. So, you know, once you let them know, hey, it's not a set time. Yes. But there are things that you could do to help you move along the process.
Help facilitate getting through it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you'll be able to get your life back and enjoy the life that you have, because you don't want to spend the rest of your life here on earth sad, because I know your loved one don't want you here like that either.
Let me ask you this. A lot of times people will say, what is it that causes people to get stuck? Do you think that not talking about the loss of a loved one can cause you to get stuck?
Absolutely. Okay. And feeling like, you know, just being quiet. Yes. Being quiet will absolutely keep you stuck. Right. So, you know, you have to be able to talk to someone and know that it's okay. And then a lot of times, you know, me growing up, I always was taught, more so frowned upon speaking to a therapist. So I actually did a therapist. Yes. I did grief counseling groups with my children.
Yes.
But I had to eventually do a therapist on my own.
Yes.
Because I just couldn't shake the depression. I don't care how much I tried to just shake it, I couldn't shake it.
Right.
But when you're talking to someone that's educated on grief and everything, they some way or another they tend to help you get to a point and a way of thinking.
Yes.
And
they let you know it's okay.
And they let you know it's okay. And sitting on that couch, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
And sometimes as you find out it's okay, then you could go and be okay.
It's like, oh, I'll be back.
Right.
And the first time I remember going, the very first time, I tried everything I possibly could not to go.
Okay.
I know it was just the devil. I said, I'm gonna see what's going on. I managed to get there. And when I tell you that was the best decision I ever made.
Awesome.
It was the best decision I ever made. So it's
Awesome.
okay
Awesome.
to see a therapist.
Yeah, in a lot of communities, not just the black community, sometimes we don't think that talking about people who have transitioned or getting help to get through the loss of a loved one. But this young lady right here, Angie Green, she's written a book. And do you know that sometimes even journaling and writing and reading about something, and even knowing that you're not the only person who has experienced this, is of tremendous help. This book right here is one such thing, On the Other Side of Through. Yes, life after loss. She has practical application. Again, tell them some of the things that's inside of this book.
Inside of the book, there are some questions to ask yourself, and then once you can journal your answers, and you always can reference back.
Give us a few, just so they can.
Okay,
and
so
this book is on Amazon. While she's looking for that, you can get this on Amazon.com.
So, like, the stages of grief is where you will find the questions.
Okay.
And they're called reflection questions.
Okay.
And like one of the questions in the denial chapter is a question that says, "Have I been honest with others about my feelings?"
Okay.
Meaning, have you talked to someone? Have you told them how you really feel? Yeah. Sometimes they say, "How are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm okay." When really, you're not really okay. You're drowning inside, and you're scared to tell it. And so you ask yourself that question, and it says, and then after that, it's a two-part question.
Okay.
It says, if not, why not? When will you start? So it's things it's questions in here to get you thinking and help you along to move past that denial stage, because it's the longer you feel like the longer you're stuck, the longer it'll take for you, I feel, for you to get on with your life and live it the way you should live it. And people feel like I've had people tell me, I just don't know how to live.
Wow.
I just don't know how to live without that certain loved one. And I felt like that.
Right.
So I know what they mean when they say that, because I felt like that. I was like, and I told my husband, I said, I just don't know what to do.
I was as I was preparing for this interview, I was reading different things, and it said that oftentimes people don't know, like, they're used to, like, fixing the sandwiches.
Yes.
And they'll fix the sandwiches. They used to have to fix 3 or 4 sandwiches. So now they only have to fix 3 sandwiches. So they're getting the socks ready. They don't have to get the other socks.
Right.
And sometimes, even in those times like that, you have to say, you know what, I still think that I should be doing this or that. And I miss them. And being able to talk about it.
Yeah, and it was a difficult transition when you, especially with me, I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband afforded me the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom with our children. So, me as a stay-at-home mom, I did everything for my children.
Right.
And when the school year, because she passed away in the summer of July of 2012, and when we're getting ready to start the new school year back, it was totally different.
Wow.
It was totally different. I'm used to getting ready to, my daughter had started college when she had finished her first year of college as a freshman at Eastern. And
now, how many children do you have?
I have 2 living children now.
Okay.
I have a daughter that will be 25 this year.
Okay.
And I have a son.
Hi, mamas of the babies. How y'all doing?
She's probably at work looking. And my other son, he will be 13
Okay.
on
Friday. I met him.
That, let me tell you, he's a breath of fresh air.
He is.
He's a breath of fresh air, yeah. So
Absolutely.
I had to get myself together for my baby.
Okay.
And he's the only one left in the house.
Okay.
And sometimes, and when I say that, because sometimes I think about my husband and I, we often say, well, we still should have at least 4 children in the house.
Right.
Because our twin daughters, they would have been 19.
Okay.
And Janaya, she would be turning 15 this year.
Wow.
And my son 13 this year. So we often joke, we like, ooh, we had a lot of kids, sir. So we still supposed to have kids in the house, but we just have the one, and it's a blessing to have him.
Indeed,
it
is. Indeed. So, even with that being said, how do we help those who may, even at this time, like you said, your daughter is, she would have been 16, right?
She would have been 15.
15.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody that would, at this point, be getting ready for a graduation or something? What would you say to that person?
Just love on you. I try to tell people, just love on the children. That's all, that's the best advice I can give a person. You can't smother them, and you can't, just keep them with you every time, because at one point, when my daughter passed, I remember when it was time for my daughter to go back to campus. So I told my husband, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So I said, and I had to pray. I said, my sister says, well, you gotta let her go.
Right.
You just gotta, pray over her and trust that God, that she'll be okay.
Okay.
So every day, you gotta call me now. Every class you get out of, I was being a little smotherly over her. But,
But that was part of you getting through your stage.
Exactly. Me getting through my stage. And my son, I still haven't, it'll be 6 years this year in July. I still haven't allowed my son to spend the night out. It's only certain people I trust my son with.
Okay.
So, like I said, I haven't gotten there fully.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Right.
But, you have to, me, I constantly pray.
Yes.
And I constantly ask God for strength.
Yes.
But the way my son is, I love it, because my son don't want to be bothered with nobody but his mama. And I'm kind of like in my feelings right now, because he's more, he always wants to do more with his dad now. So
okay.
I travel.
He's 13. He's growing up. So.
He wants to hang with dad. Dad is way cooler than mom. Mom is annoying now. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
So when you think of someone who, we talked about those different stages, and they said there's 5 stages, and they said there's 7 stages. Now, they said there's the denial and the isolation, the anger, the bargaining, the depression, acceptance. But I prefer the 7 stages, because the 7 stages, I think, enables you to heal better.
Absolutely.
Initially when you find out about something, you deal with the shock and the denial. And then you have that pain, and you go through the guilt.
Yeah.
And that pain and that guilt can linger. And then after you come out of that, then you get mad. What would you say to somebody who has just experienced the loss of a child in the last 30 days? What would you say to that person? Tell them what you felt initially and how you got through those first 30 days.
Initially, I just allowed the grief to go. I just let it follow. Whatever happened, it happened. I just grieved.
You just let it do
what it do. I just let it do what it do. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I was just in limbo, just grieving, just beside myself with grief, to where I couldn't do anything.
Okay.
And
that's really the
norm. Yeah, and sometimes I would try, and to be honest, I'm being transparent here, I would try to pray, and people would say, did you pray? Yeah, I prayed. I ain't did I hadn't done nothing. Because I just didn't want to do anything. I was just, I just felt like I was stuck.
Right.
And I felt like I was in a bad dream, and I was just waiting to wake up. And
Wow.
I was like, am I gonna ever wake up from this bad dream?
Mm.
And that went on for about a year.
Okay.
It went on for about a year, and my husband at the time was an over the road truck driver.
Okay.
And he would, and it made it easier for me not to worry about him because he wasn't here. He was on the road. He was working. And when my daughter passed away, I stayed. I had went back to work. I had started back work because my kids were in school full time. I started back working, and I stayed off work for 2 months.
Okay.
Because I couldn't bring myself to work. I couldn't bring myself to do anything. This went on for 2 months.
Okay.
And I just, honestly speaking, I just let it just take its course.
Okay.
And eventually